Be honest. How many times have you said to yourself, "This is the last time? I won't do it again," only to fall right back into the same habit? It feels frustrating, right? Almost like the habit controls you, instead of you controlling it. Well, you're not alone. And here's the surprising part. Bad habits aren't just about willpower. They're wired into your brain through a loop that makes them feel rewarding, even when you know they're harmful. But what is a habit? Habits define who we are. A habit is simply a behavior repeated regularly until it becomes automatic. According to a 2010 study by Filippo Lalli and colleagues, it can take anywhere from 18 days to 254 days for a habit to fully form, depending on the person and the behavior. But here's the real question. Why do we develop habits, good or bad? And why is it so difficult to let go of the bad ones? The truth is, habits are not random. They are outcomes of repeated actions triggered by emotions, events, location, or time. Psychologists describe this as a habit loop, made up of 3 parts. Trigger, what sets the behavior in motion. Behavior, the action itself. Reward, the pleasure or relief you feel afterward. For example, take hunger. Hunger is the trigger. Eating chocolate is the behavior. The joy or calm you feel is the reward. Or stress. Stress is the trigger. Eating ice cream or cake is the behavior. The temporary relief is the reward. Over time, your brain learns that these habits feel beneficial. Bad habits often start small and harmless, but with repetition, they become stronger and harder to escape. But here's the good news. Bad habits can be broken. And today, I'll walk you through 3 practical, research-based steps that I've personally used to break some of my worst habits. Step 1. Identify the trigger. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself reaching for your phone, your snack, or your cigarette, and then thought, wait, why did I even do that? That moment right there is not random. It's what we call a trigger. A trigger is the spark that starts the habit loop. It's the little cue your brain has connected to a behavior so powerfully you don't even think before acting. But what triggers look like? Triggers can show up in so many sneaky ways. The time of day, like always scrolling at midnight. A place walking into the kitchen and automatically opening the fridge. An action before finishing dinner and instantly craving dessert. An emotion, stress, boredom, or loneliness. See, habits aren't random. They're attached to something. That's why they repeat. But why triggers matter? Here's the truth. Most of our day runs on autopilot. Research from USC found that about 60% of what we do daily is driven by triggers, not conscious choice. That's why breaking habits feels impossible. You're fighting against an automatic program. But the second you shine a light on the trigger, you're no longer blind. You've created a gap, a moment where you can actually decide differently. 5 ways to avoid or neutralize triggers. Okay, so how do you weaken those triggers once you spot them? Number 1, change your environment. If midnight phone use is your trap, keep your phone charging in another room. Number 2, add friction. Make the bad habit harder to do. No junk food within arm's reach. Number 3, replace the routine. If stress triggers smoking, swap it for deep breathing, a walk, or a glass of water. Number 4, plan an if. Then response, if I walk into the kitchen and see snacks, then I'll first grab fruit or water. Number 5, limit exposure. If certain friends, apps, or places always set you off, reduce how often you face them, at least while you're trying to change. Step 2, change the environment. Here's something most people don't realize. Willpower is not the main battleground. The real battle happens in your environment. If your surroundings keep serving up the same cues, you'll repeatedly be pushed back into the same behavior, even with the best intentions. James Clear, an American writer and speaker, calls this choice architecture, the idea that your environment quietly shapes the choices you make every day. Why changing the environment works? Habits become automatic faster and more reliable when they occur in a stable context. That's why changing the context, your physical space, routine order, or who you spend time with, makes it easier to break a bad habit and build a new one. 5 research-backed ways to change or neutralize the environment. Number 1. Remove or make the cue invisible. Example: charge your phone in another room to reduce late-night scrolling. According to Wendy Woods, professor of psychology at USC, the practice works because habits are triggered by context cues. Removing the cue prevents automatic activation. Number 2. Make the unwanted behavior harder. Add friction. Increase steps required to perform it. Example: keep junk food in a locked container or on a high shelf. Choice architecture and behavioral interventions succeed when undesired actions have more friction. Number 3. Design cues for the new habit. Make the good choice obvious. Example: put a water bottle on your desk to cue hydration instead of snack reaching. The concept behind this, as stated by James Clear, is that by designing your environment, you make the right option, the obvious option. Number 4. Change the sequence of your routine. Example: if finishing dinner triggers sweets, add a 5-minute dishwashing step before dessert is visible. The new preceding action breaks the automatic flow. Number 5. Shift social context, that is, who and where you spend time. Example: avoid places or groups tied strongly to the habit during early change. Instead, spend time with people who model the behavior you want. According to Wendy Woods, social cues are a powerful trigger, and changing social exposure reduces the frequency of cues. Step 3. Replace the habit. You've seen how triggers set off your behavior. You've seen how environment strengthens it. But here's the turning point, the step that makes change possible, not just thinkable. What if instead of trying to stop a habit, you replace it with something better, something that captures your attention, makes you curious, even excited? Because here's a truth many forget: your brain craves reward. If you remove a habit without giving it something else, it'll often seek something to fill that gap. That's what replacement does. It gives your brain an alternative, a healthier habit that satisfies the same underlying need, but in a more positive way. A study on sugar-sweetened beverages showed that simply substituting sugary drinks with water or diet options with an intention reduced both consumption and the strength of a sugar habit. Let's discuss on what you should aim for when trying to replace a habit. Number 1. Matches the same reward. What do you get from the bad habit? Stress relief? Pleasure? Distraction? Whatever it is, your replacement must provide something close to that feeling. Number 2. Is quick and easy. If the replacement itself is inconvenient, your brain may reject it in favor of the old habit. Number 3. Fits into your routine. It should slot into your day so it can benefit from existing triggers and context. Number 4. Scalable. Start small, with something manageable, then gradually build as the replacement habit takes hold. Breaking a bad habit isn't about fighting yourself. It's about understanding yourself. Every habit, even the worst one, started as a way to cope, to comfort, or to fill a gap. But you're not your habit. You're the one who built it, which means you're the one who can break it. So, if you've been struggling to break a bad habit, don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. Because once you start, the rest begins to change too. Let's help out each other in the comments section and share our experiences. Thank you for watching. Please press the subscribe button.